cultures can express themselves through their national dishes like Korea, Peru, and Uzbek. It is time to talk about the food that we have nowadays and the ones that we will have probably in the future. First, let's begin with the food or the contemporary cuisine. Well, if you may have noticed, or maybe you took some time to take a closer look to the daily meals that you have, the one that you have today, you can have noticed that there's some difference from the ones that people had in the past. You know, there has been some changes, especially in some aspects, like the time required to prepare food, the ingredients that you may have available, and all the gadgets that you can use. First, and this has a lot to do with the current lifestyle that people have, especially in countries like maybe the US, Japan, or also Peru. As we are focusing like this area in New York City, we can talk about first to the importance of time. People nowadays are rushing all the time, so they don't have that much time to spend on the kitchen. So they always try to, prefer something more convenient, more practical to eat. They sometimes sacrifice the quality of the food. It only matters to feel full and have energy, but if you contrast this type of food that we have nowadays, you might notice that we have lost some of the qualities or aspects that meet values of some dishes. Here's an example. For instance, people nowadays prefer fast food. Also, if they don't order fast food, they may buy some pre-cooked dishes, so they can heat up at night. Maybe invest their time on other tasks. So that's an important thing to think about. Nowadays we lack time, so that's something that has influenced a lot in the way we eat nowadays. Also, the ingredients that you can use. Some people like to cook still, so they take a little bit effort to prepare their own dishes. But you also analyze the current situation, you may notice that in the past it will be more expensive to get some ingredients or species. In history, there have been many wars in order to get some species. Well, nowadays there's a different background of the review. In this case, we have options for the matter of species. For instance, you want to maybe get some, in case of Peru, yellow chili pepper, or maybe you want some Indian cinnamon. You may not be able to find it right here in the US, but we have more options nowadays. Then you can replace these species for others, like turmeric or curry that is more normally used, common in finding supermarkets, or maybe cheaper option for the real cinnamon that can be cassia cinnamon. So nowadays we have more options, and also people nowadays try to be more efficient while cooking. Some of us have lost some abilities at kitchen. We don't have the skills that we used to have the best, like cooking, maybe peeling, or washing vegetables or products. So now we have more gadgets that we can use, so we can also save time and include more ingredients. So these are this point is related to biology. Well, here I have some examples. Yep. Even though they, they make the task of cooking more easy, it also can offer more or better results, despite it, takes less time to the. And well, as I mentioned, there's a lot of difference from the past and now. And now and then, it's not the same. It's just not the same. But now we can take a look at what the future. And we also analyze how the cultures and some people prepare food. We may notice that there's a lot of influence of technology, and it's likely to play a more important role in the next decades. We can talk about transgenic food and nanotechnology. Despite they sound pretty similar, there's a small difference. Transgenic food is focused on giving some specific characteristics to the products, and nanotechnology has more to do with the production. Nowadays we have problems like overpopulation, lack of food. So these technologies play a more relevant role in the next years. And yeah, this also may be helpful if we want to, reduce the rate of malnourished children in the world. Also, as we know, natural crops lose productivity from one whenever they are used, they lose productivity. So it's also a problem that this technology can help to solve. And so in the future, we will need to solve some human basic needs like nutrition and giving some minerals and also other nutrients to children and people. It's a pretty important focus that we can consider, and it is like the most likely perspective that we can designate for direction orientation. Yeah. And why is this important to you? Maybe the reason might be like we all are humans. We need to at least once or 3 times a day eat something. Even though you might not like to try other cultures' food, you might prefer your own country's. Nowadays we have more opportunities. We're social beings, so we have to interact between or among each other, and culture is a way to do it. But obviously, we can access more opportunities. We can meet more people. Obviously, we someday will have to try out some of their national dishes. That's the main importance of this topic, but it's a general idea. Thank you.